Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well. Much respect to the brothers laboring in truth and sincerity worldwide. And salutations to the believers out there who's believing on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I seen this article from CNBC. It says world economy. And this article was written December the 8th, 2020, year of prophecy. It says universal basic income could decimate cities next year. One bank says in its outlandish forecast. Okay? And if you've been in the know, they've wanted to introduce this UBI for a while. You know, you go back to the story of the history of Joseph when there was a great famine in the land and the people could no longer afford to buy the food. What did they have to do? They had to end up selling their land, all their worldly goods, and eventually themselves. This is what the basis for the UBI is made on. Okay? Once they have all your assets and you sold yourself, you're going to have to take that mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. Now let's get a couple of highlights and then we'll jump into the scriptures. Matter of fact, let's get a quick precept. Because, you know, they say they want to help, but they're not trying to help you. All right? This is to further their agenda. All right? Which ultimately is the Lord's agenda. This is Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. You see? The tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. All right? Scriptures tell us what? Never trust our enemy. Okay? Now, let's go into this article. It says these are key points, and we might read down in the article a little bit. It says in a report entitled Outrageous Predictions, Saxo Bank outlined 10 outlandish forecasts, all right, predictions for 2021. Although it did stress these are not its official views. Among the predictions, the Danish bank said measures implemented by governments to support lost wages in response to the coronavirus pandemic could be permanent, you see? Those lost wages, which they're going to implement UBI, right? Again, it says, among the predictions, the Danish bank said measures implemented by governments to support lost wages in response to the coronavirus pandemic could become permanent. UBI leads to a systematic rebalancing of the forces and structures within society and how they apply geographically, strategist K. Van Peterson said in the report. Let's get this. And as you know, the banking hub of the beast is out of London, right? And it says London. Saxo Bank says universal basic income could become a permanent reality next year, triggering the systematic rebalancing of society as workers wave bye-bye to big city life, you see? So they want to take all your goods, and make you a perpetual slave. All right. Now let's go to the history on this. Let's go to Genesis, because this place is nothing more than a um, melting pot of all these different nations, right? All these different wicked kingdoms that the Lord has set up, like Egypt, Syria, Babylon, you know, and America is just the final end of this wicked rulership. All right, with the vision that Daniel seen, or Nebuchadnezzar seen, that Daniel explained about him being the head of gold. All right, we're at the end of that statue. Okay, this is Genesis chapter 47 and verse 20. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's, you see? So if you go into the tenets, the requirements of the UBI, they require you to sell all your assets to them. All right. In turn, they're going to what? Provide you with a certain sum of money, okay? Which is going to be what? Listed on that RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, okay? Verse 21. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt even to the other end thereof. Now, this piece said the end of big cities, right? So once you get those assets, they're going to remove you out of the big cities, all right? And put you in a place for you to be watched and looked upon, right? Let's read this part right here and we'll jump back to the scriptures. It says, among the predictions, the bank said that measures implemented by governments to support lost wages in response to the coronavirus pandemic could become permanent. And this new era of free money would crush commercial real estate, you see? The risks that societies are entirely torn apart results in the realization that the Crown 19 measures weren't mere a panic response, but the start of a permanent new universal basic income reality. Sachs Global macro strategist K. Van Peterson said in the report, the UBI leads to a systematic rebalancing of the forces and structures within society. How they apply geographically. He said the Crown 19 pandemic has only accelerated the K-shaped the K-shaped recovery that was driving inequity and tearing at the social fabric before the outbreak, you see? So it was always an Esau plan to drive everything toward this, but he used this pandemic to accelerate those plans. Why? Because he knew he has but a short time. Now we'll come back to this article. Let's go back to Genesis. Okay? This is Genesis chapter 47 and verse 22. Only the land of the priest bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. Wherefore they sold not their lands. Then Pharaoh said unto the people, behold, let's read this again. Then Joseph said unto the people, behold, I have bought you this day, and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye sow the land. So basically, that seed, okay, was what food, which they needed to eat. This seed now that's going to be given to the people is money, all right, which they in turn going to use to eat. Okay, it says verse 24, and it came to pass in the increase that ye shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and the fourth part shall be your own for seed of the field and for your food, you see, and for them of your households, and for the food for your little ones. You see that? So Esau is going to use this same strategy, all right, to push forth the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, using this UBI, this universal basic income. Okay, it says, let's read this paragraph again. Let's highlight it. If we can get it to highlight. Okay, it says, he said the Crown 19 pandemic has only accelerated the K-shaped recovery that was driving inequity and tearing at the social fabric before the outbreak. A K-shaped recovery refers to one in which the performance of the economy sharply diverges like arms of the K of the letter K, with parts of the economy benefiting from strong growth while others lag. Okay, let's see what else. And Lord willing, I'll put this in the description box. It says, big city exodus, universal basic income is not a new idea, but it has gained traction in wake of the pandemic, with advocates of policy suggesting it could help financially support those affected by the global health crisis and future-proof against any further society-wide events. See? The IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, the IMF describes universal basic income as an income support mechanism in which regular cash payments are intended to reach a large portion of the population with minimal conditions. Yeah, what are those minimal conditions? What would cause Esau to do anything good for the people? Right? Let's get some scriptures. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Let's like Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus. Let's see what chapter we in. Chapter 20 and verse 10. There is a gift that shall not profit thee. There is a gift whose recompense is double. You see? So this gift that this devil is trying to give you out is, if you accept it, it's gonna be double recompense to you. Okay? It says there is an abasement because of glory, and there is that lifted up his head from a low estate. There is that buyeth much for little, and repayeth it sevenfold. A wise man by his words maketh him beloved, but the graces of fools shall be poured out. The gift of a fool shall do thee no good when thou hast it, neither yet of the envious for his necessity. For he looketh to receive many things for one. See? So that envious person, who is Esau Edom, he's trying to capture, really the birthright, having everybody as his perpetual slave. Okay? We went into that yesterday at the live camp, how the Lord made the whole world for the Israelites' sakes, which includes the people. And this universal basic income will encompass all people, where the international bankers, all right, will have perpetual slave of all the nations, right? It says, in short, it will see everyone receive a flat rate payment on a regular basis, regardless of their employment status. You see that? That's crazy. And people think this would be good, but no. It's leading to the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay? And once you take it, you're going to be destroyed. Thus saith the Lord. This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 4. The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge. Let's start at verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. Let's look at this word churl. Right? Strong's H 3596.
Strong's H 3596. Kilai. Second entry. Kalai.
Okay. It says scoundrel, knave, right? Let's go back. It says Isaiah 32 and 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. The scoundrel. Yeah, who was the scoundrel? Esau Edom, right? For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. You see? The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. Yeah, this is a wicked device that he's devising to destroy the poor. Who are the poor? The Israelites. Okay? It says, the instruments also of the churl are evil. The scoundrel, right? He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. Yeah. Even when the needy, which are the Israelites, speaketh right. But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. You see? And that's this devil using these different things to bring forth his agenda. And let's see what else we can get from this. Listen to this. It says big cities have been the chief drivers of job growth for generations. But in the new era of UBI, tech-driven jobs, redundancy, and frequent work from home jolts made more normal by Crown 19, city office real estate is suddenly faced with 100% or worse overcapacity, Van Peterson says commercial office property values are crushed together with commercial real estate containing restaurants and shops aimed at serving commuting worker drones. So it was done by design to really blow up this whole society, to have you dependent on the government, okay, for all your needs, instead of depending on who? Yahweh Shah Shah. All right, let's close it out here, because the Lord made it plain. All right, this is Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. That's right. The tender mercies of the wicked are cruel, right? It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither set him at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? Who gonna pity you? You trust this damn devil. All right, on all counts. For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, right? Excuse me. His enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Yeah, he saw the bloody man. All right. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. That's what you're seeing. There's adversity that's laid out over the whole world. Why? Because the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. All right. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. All right. And that's what you're seeing right here. This guy right here is going to use this, right, as a so-called a help, but it's all part of the plans of implementing that RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, which will have your medical records, your ID, and your financial records. Okay, when they start issuing out these regular payments. Okay, that's gonna be it for the lesson. Lord willing, it's been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.